what I've read, and that's a pretty interesting point of view on this whole matter, is that he purposely made the tweet to get out of those the contracts that he was in, so he could enter into better contracts with the money that he has. Maybe get into companies with more control, more ownership. I have, and this is a disclaimer as well. I have seen, of course, people saying that that is not the case. But in contract law, usually it's the party that breaks the contract that needs to prove that he had legitimate reasons for breaking that contract. Unless, so I'm not talking about contracts in which it's stated that either party can terminate it, let's say, with a termination period of 2 months or something like that. But I'm saying, I don't think the contracts that we talked about, the branding deals, the clothing deals, that these were contracts that either party could dissolve at any point in time. So if you want to break a contract, you need to prove that you had a legitimate reason. So now so the fact that they broke the contract, so the other parties broke the contract, means that they would need to prove that Kanye was in the wrong, which is a better position for, let's say, legally. Let's say if you want to proceed with litigation, with court proceedings, it's a better position to be if Kanye would just, because for Kanye, because Kanye would just need to prove that, or argument that their reason is not valid enough. So it's a better position for him to be than if he was the one who broke the contract, because then he would need to prove that he had a valid reason. That being said, do I believe that was Kanye's idea? Do you think I believe, and you don't need to answer that question, this is a rhetorical question, but do you think, people in the chat, let me know as well what you think. Do you think that I believe that Kanye, when he tweeted what he tweeted it, sounds like a riddle, doesn't it? But he tweeted it with the intention of forcing the other contractual parties to break off the agreement? If you said yes, that you think that the reason he did it, the reason why he tweeted what he tweeted was to break the contracts, the contracts, then you'd be wrong. I believe Kanye is Kanye. Kanye being Kanye, he just do things and solve the problem later. So he basically caused the mess, but because of his creative genius, he can think of outside of the box, or out of the box solutions for his problems. And we sitting at home with our the way we look at things, we think, wow, was this the plan all along? I don't believe that this was the plan all along, but he just has. You need to give credit where credit is due. Up until this point, he's always shown that he knows how to bounce back. So I don't believe that this was planned or staged, but I do believe that he has the weird, sometimes almost, what's the word I'm looking for? It's almost it's almost, I don't want to say supernatural. It's like not supernatural, but when it's a bit mysterious, there's a word for it. But it's almost, you can't understand it, but he has a way of landing on his feet. Now, cats have 9 lives. I don't know how much Kanye has, but I guess time will tell, man.
I want to ask you a question because you pointed something out when you started your monologue. So you're trying to say that even in this situation he's in, he can he will have good enough ground to in court to accept the the termination of the contract with payment from the other party because they broke the contract illegitimately.
So what he can try to do is indeed um, require damage repair. He can do that. But at the end of the day, it's a judge that would need to decide whether or not the termination was
Legit.
legit, yes or no. Because
Okay.
in certain instances, for example, it's not all infringements constitutes or form grounds for a complete termination of an agreement. I expect that these agreements have, for example, fines for small infringements, and that these in so. But in this case, what he said, I mean, what they're accusing him of, it's pretty serious, and we can sit here and say, hey, we believe that he didn't mean this, he meant that. But the question is if the court will look whether or not the contractual parties in their positions, respective positions, would had to try and analyze whether or not he meant what we thought he meant, or whether it was the right choice to terminate the agreement abruptly in order to safeguard
The brand.
the interests of other stakeholders, employees, other customers, other partnerships, etc.
Okay. Clear.
Yeah.
Clear. So he he really might land on his feet. I
Yeah.
mean, if you have 400 million in the bank, you always land on your feet, I guess. But
Yeah, but I don't see Kanye. I don't think Kanye will start any litigations. I don't think so. Um, he just needs to watch out because I don't know how. Let's say with regards to his designs, he talked about a couple of weeks back. He talked about going in the streets or to stores, etc., and sell his
yeah.
clothing line. And I don't know whether or not he will do that, because if he does, then they will. If he doesn't own the intellectual property rights to the
The designs.
designs, then he can get a case against it. But the other party can also initiate a case against them. So they can also claim. So they can also claim that he forced them to uh, break off the contract, and therefore cause them financial damage. So It's not like Kanye is the only one who can throw punches.
Okay. Okay. Clear. Clear.